turn to somebody to the left and introduce yourself and say your name. Oh, we're getting church up in here, y'all. And then you're gonna turn to the other side and go greet somebody else. This is why we do team trainings, to make friends, to have freedom, to have fun.
Hi, I'm Tamsin.
I'm taking bets in my head who's gonna stand up first and start walking around and introducing themselves. All right.
Hi, my name's Katie.
Where's my leaders at? Get up. Go meet some people. Baby's like, fine.
Good to see you. Hi, I'm Tamsin.
Ask each other who they're under, who their upline is. Get to know them. Add them on Facebook. This is how I've met some of my best friends. Christina, like you're crazy. You're freaking me out.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to pray. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with me. Thank you, Lord, for tonight and that we are able to gather together. And God, I just pray your blessing on our businesses, Lord, and that everything that we speak on tonight will stick in our minds and we won't just do it and listen. We'll actually go out and do it. And help me remember what I was going to speak on. Okay. Just a couple announcements. I'll probably be looking down a lot tonight because I've never really had notes before. Again, I usually try to pass the baton a little bit to people and get them out of their comfort zones, and then sure enough it gets thrown on me and I'm like, but I want to stay in my comfort zone. I don't want to go speak the whole time. But I have to, so again, sorry if I'm looking down a lot. Tonight we are talking about growing your business and gathering distributors. So are you guys excited for that? It's taken me, my team has been asking me to teach on this for 8 months. And I don't know why I haven't been able to like really put it into words. Like I can give some tips with their scenarios. I'll ask them, okay, well, what are you saying? What are you doing? And of course I can do that with you individually if you message me on Facebook or text me. But for some reason, I don't know why I haven't been able to just put it into paper and like say it out loud. So I've literally been working on this for about 2 months, going through messages and reading and kind of putting patterns together of what worked for me in different scenarios. Again, I say this all the time, I'm pretty black and white. I'm not gonna tiptoe around you. There is no rat fairy. No rat fairy is gonna fall from heaven and touch you on the head and suddenly you have 50 million distributors. So when I get all these messages like, you're on fire, girl, how are you doing it? Exclamation point. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like yes, but I'm working my butt off. Do you understand that? Like I'm up late at night, I'm getting up early in the morning, I'm reading books all the time. I have this in front of me at all times. I am looking at the income chart. I have it on my fridge, I have it on my bathroom mirror, I have one in my car. Still, even though I have it memorized, there's something about visually seeing it in front of you, like this is what I need in my life. And I've noticed with each rank, if you guys know my story, I started out just going for Ruby, period, and I was so burnt out from another company that there was no way I would go beyond that. And then Ruby happened, and I got that check, and I was like, oh my gosh, I did that from my phone. Well, I kind of need Emerald, so I'm gonna go for Emerald. I never hit Emerald, I went Diamond. So then Diamond happened. I got a $20,000 bonus, and I was like, holy crap, I'm gonna go doubles. 2 months later, I went double, and then I was like, I'm gonna float at double. My whole team's laughing at me. They're like, no, you're not, because we're working. And so now that I'm double, I just did my chart last night for triple, and I'm 2 rubies away. So it just goes to show you need to dream a little bit bigger, okay? And I saw a YouTube video of like, It Works haters. Don't go on there and search that. I was bored at night and I searched It Works haters. Oh my gosh. There was this chick and she's sitting like cross-legged and she's like, listen, mother, just like in the camera, and she's like, this is why I hate it and this is why I hate it. And I don't know why I lost my distributorship, and I'm like, I don't know why. I don't know why. Probably because you need to love on people and you can't do that. But the thing that she just kept, she had no point in the video except that she was just angry with her life and her lack of success because she believed in the rat fairy, and you can't believe in the rat fairy. I'm sorry, like he doesn't exist. So the point of talking about that video, oh my gosh, are you guys okay? Don't die. Oh, like right by the babies. Okay. All right. It's so hot in here. Holy cannoli. I don't even need a wrap. Okay. So the whole point of that video is one thing she just kept saying is the big wigs, all those double diamond big wigs, and I'm over here like, there's like diapers on my bathroom floor, and like I haven't done laundry in like 2 weeks. Like I'm not like a double diamond big wig, and all that to say anybody can do this business. Okay, so get that in your head right now. And if you're having any thoughts of like, oh, I can't go up there and speak and blah blah blah. I purposely still use my torn up, glued together diagrams and stuff. I still have a Sharpie on poster board Ruby chart that I hand drew out with like crooked handwriting. And I purposely do that, and I don't use the big fancy laminated stuff or like the PowerPoint because I want you guys to see that anyone can be successful with like nothing. When I started this business, I had no money, none. In fact, I didn't even have the $99 to start. And it took my upline, Bree, she's a persistent little thing, about 11 months of messaging me, and she was cool about it. In the beginning, it was like every week, and then after about a month, I actually went back in our messages and looked at her patterns because I kind of wanted to see like, okay, what can I, take from my story and implement into tonight for you guys to relate to in the shoes that you're in right now. So I want you to know, like, I kind of had to bring myself back down and remember what it was like. And one of the patterns that I saw is that she responded to me. I reached out to her first of all, and she would respond to me about every week. And then, well, actually, I watched her for a really long time, and then I started reaching out to her. So she responded to me about every week, and after about a month, I was like, listen, no, like, I am not signing up. I want to, yes, but only for wraps, period. Like, I don't care about the other stuff. And she went over everything with me, sent me the income chart, everything. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna do it. I don't have time, I'm pregnant, blah, blah, blah. The typical excuses that you hear from people that you really want on your team, and you just wish that they could wrap their mind around what we have to offer, right? Like, do you guys understand what I'm saying? Okay, do you relate? So I was one of those people, okay? And she would just, she just got to know me. She would just send me a message and ask how I was doing, and she validated everything I was saying to her. She kind of like got off the It Works grid and said, man, I remember when I was pregnant with my twins and I was working in the dental office 40 hours a week. I never saw my husband. He was out of town, blah, blah, blah. So I really started to get to know this girl. Half the time I didn't even respond, but it was because I was scared, to be honest. Like, I was totally relating to her, but I just didn't really want to respond. One, because I never met her and I was super scared of someone I didn't know on social media messaging me. And I still am sometimes. But two, because I just was scared to have another failure. But she kept going. And it took her a couple more months of reaching out, and finally, I liked one of her statuses and then just messaged her, and I was like, I'm all in. And when I do something, I don't do it like a little bit, I do it a lot. And so I just kind of needed to wait until my time was ready, but I cannot thank you enough for following up with me. And she was like, she sent that emoji-con that's like the big eyes, and she, like all these big eyes. I love that emoji-con. Like, I use it all the time now, I love it. And she was like just a whole bunch of those little emoji cards. And I was like, oh, like she's surprised, okay? And I didn't realize it. I did not know the crazy wild journey at the time that God was going to take me on. And all those late nights of, I'm going to cry tonight, just saying. And I'm wearing makeup, which sucks because I never wear makeup. But all those late nights of staying up with my son, and all those early mornings of getting up, and all those rap parties that I went to when I didn't want to go, which I still don't want to half the time, just saying. And all those questions that I would answer, which don't bug me, but sometimes when it's 100 in a row, it's like, oh, it all just kind of makes sense now. And I don't know if Lauren's watching this on Periscope tonight, but we just went and had coffee the other night. Okay, if you're living on your own for 13 years and you're almost 30, your dad will still text you. Just saying. What are you doing right now? Okay, anyways. All right, anyways, time out, sorry. I'm a rabbit. I'm like everywhere. I'm so sorry. This is why I don't speak the whole time. Anyway, so one thing that we talked about, Lauren's a diamond on my team. She just got a $10,000 bonus last month. And she was the one from the very beginning that like would not do this. All she wanted to do was buy lip and eye cream at discount one time from me. She would not sign up as a loyal customer, like at all. And finally, I just sold her the damn lip and eye cream for a discount because she would not do it. And I was like, fine, whatever, like just get it out of my inventory. And but I kept following up with her, and I actually talked to her husband about it. And then he got her on board. But anyways, I was like, how can I get you? Because I knew she would be a freaking rock star. And so she just hit diamond and got a $10,000 bonus. So we met up. She lives out by Gig Harbor. So she met up with me the other day, and I gave her diamond gift or whatever. And one thing that she was saying, oh my gosh, I'm like, Maddie, you're distracting me. I can't think now. So yeah, I'm messing with you. One thing that she just kept doing over and over and over in the beginning was like, I can't do this, and I can't see it, and I can't see it. And then I met with her the other day, and I pulled out her double diamond chart, and I set it in front of her, and I was like, and she's like, no. I was like, yeah. And she's like, no. And I was like, no, you don't understand like what your team is doing. You have to keep up the momentum. You have to keep up being that leader for them, or you won't get there. Like, you have to keep going. I'm not saying to go get burnt out if you need to sprint for a little bit, but don't stay stagnant. At least do your steps to success. And in like a couple of days, she enrolled a whole bunch of distributors and got tons of volume, and she's like almost boxed in for double already, just since our meeting, which is like a couple days ago. So she's crazy. But all that to say is tonight we're gonna be talking about dreaming bigger a lot, which goes hand in hand with getting distributors. And so you're probably gonna get annoyed because I'm not just gonna jump right into my tips of how to get distributors, because distributors are people, and we sponsor distributors, we don't recruit distributors. The difference is if you're a recruiter, kind of like the Army, it's like, okay, here's the form, this is what you get, you don't throw a fit, go to boot camp and then go die. Like, that's not what we do. We protect our distributors, we raise them up, we empower them, we reach down to them. The leaders on my team I buy books for. I'm constantly trying to be like, okay, where are you at in your book? Are you watching videos? I challenge my team to watch a video a day on YouTube, like a good video, not a hater video. If you're picking up bits and pieces, write it down or try to remember to do things like that. Because you gotta stay focused. You gotta stay on it. Am I saying to be on your phone 24/7? No, because then you'll be like me and you'll never ever clean. I don't think I vacuumed my house in 2 months. I'm being completely real. And so, no, I'm not saying do that if that's not where you're at, okay? But I've gotten so many messages of people writing me being like, you got 20 distributors one month, you got 18, you got 5, so last month I got 2, big deal, right? This month I've gotten more. So they come in waves, and all of it boils down to, I had to decide. I had to get to the point in my business where I was kind of angry, and I was kind of sick of watching everyone around me promote. I had to get kind of angry with my situation at home. I had to see what needed to change and realize that no one was going to do that change for me. Nobody. I couldn't wait anymore for my upline to throw me a bone. I've never been built, I've never been placed under ever, ever. So if that helps anybody with knowing, there are some that still exist that can do it on their own. And anybody can. I mean, if I can do this with all my babies, you can too. So, but I'm just telling you, the struggle is real. And if you want to get up higher and higher, you have to work really hard. So with saying that, at the same time, by me saying that, I don't want you to be scared, okay? That's the last thing that I want. Yes?
One of the things that I figured out is that when we say work hard, it's different. It's a different working hard.
Yeah.
Than working at Costco.
Our working hard is fun, yeah.
I mean, it's totally different. So normal people, when you say, yeah, but it's hard work, that scares them away because they don't, you have to like break it down to them. Otherwise, they don't understand.
Yeah, we're about to get into that part. But I completely agree with you. Our working hard is like, it's not like physical labor, right? So our working hard takes focus and takes a lot of dreaming. It takes being strong when you don't want to be. It takes coming to a hot coffee house and doing this all on your own when people bail on you to be your guest speaker last minute. I mean, you got to be flexible and you have to be okay with that. I don't know if you guys, do you guys follow me on Facebook? I was making chicken the other night and I was just trying to like not be on my phone for once. And I turned my phone off, well, I muted it because I can't physically turn it off. I just can't, like I can't do it. I can't do it, I've tried. I turn it off and I'm like, I just have it on. So turn the sound off, I'm making my chicken and I had Ellie Goulding blasting and my kids were dancing and I was just trying to make some damn chicken and like all these people are messaging me, they're interested in business and you have to be okay with that. You have to stop, turn it on low, wait 2 minutes, message them back, go back, turn it back on medium, flip it, go back, okay, like you have to be okay with that. But with saying all this tonight, my timers are going off to walk my dog. You can't let all this tonight overwhelm you. And I think that I've pinpointed why I haven't been able to delve into the whole gathering distributors thing because it's so much more than 5 tips. It is so much more than those videos that I see. 20 ways to getting 20 distributors. I'm like, cool, the numbers are even. I'm gonna watch that one. Like, it's so much more than, I'm glad I'm not the only one that thinks I'm funny. It's so much more than a video like that, okay? So I get so scared sometimes that I'm gonna scare people away or that they're not gonna wanna do this business because it is completely, and I'll get into my story a little bit at the end, but for those of you that don't know, but it is completely uprooted all the crap in my life and it is gone and it has completely made me be able to dream again and it is completely, I mean, my girls are like, Mommy, I want to do horseback riding lessons. I was like, okay, clean your room. But like, I'm not lying. Like, I really can go do the horseback riding lessons. I can't walk the dog. Okay, so the point is, I had to get to the point tonight where if you're gonna be scared or overwhelmed by all of this material, then leave now. But I don't want you to leave, I really want you to listen. Because it's so much more. So the first thing we're gonna do is that you need to do, and I want you to just kind of do this, you know, quietly in your head, is you have to make up your mind. You have to commit, and you have to get your head right. Don't just go trying to get a bunch of distributors before your own head is right, okay? And don't take a lot of time to do that. We can do that literally just tonight. So I just want you to take a second and think about your why. I don't care if you're a diamond in this room, I don't care if you're a double diamond, I don't care if you're a ruby or you're boxed in for presidential. I want you to think about your why for a second. I want you to think about some stuff that you hate in your life, that maybe money is holding you back, maybe someone's control over your life is holding you back. That's a big one for me. Maybe your kids are holding you back. Normally I have my kids with me. They left today for California for a week. Oh, I'm so excited. So I purposely try to take them to as much as I can. So I have one of them, but the other 3. So that you guys can see that anyone can do this with your kids. So do you have your why in your brain? Yeah? I heard one person say, uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay, do you know what your why is, right?
Yes.
Do you know what I'm talking about when I say your why? Are there any guests in the room that are not on any team? There's a guest. There's 3 guests. There's 2 guests. Holy cow, can we like welcome them?
Yep.
We never have guests. This is crazy. Good job. You guys are actually working? Oh, that's so awesome. Okay, so hopefully we don't scare you because tonight is a little bit intense, I'm not gonna lie. Because it's kind of a lot, so just ignore it. But I think you're gonna like it. So get your why in your head. So for those of you that aren't on a team, your why is your reason for doing it, okay? So you have to have that and be okay with everything that you're trying to work on before you just go and try to sign a bunch of people, because we don't recruit, we what? We sponsor, which means not leaving them in the dark. Now, do you block somebody when they start swearing at you? Yep, I did that today. Do you move on if there's absolutely no growth, or do you just kind of be like, but I have this one person and I can't promote until they like start doing it because I know they can be amazing? No, that's called you place an order under them and you move on, like, you know, replace them. So I'm not saying give up on your distributors, but I'm also not saying believe in everyone more than they believe in themselves, okay? Now, there's a difference. You can empower people. Triple Diamond Michelle Rankin, if you want to write that down, she's amazing. She's almost presidential. She said something to me at a conference, not a conference, it was like a training that Crystal Welch did. And she said that, hold on, I actually wrote it down so that I don't mess up her quote. Confidence is not given, but it's acquired, okay? So you can reach down to your distributors or people that are wanting to join your team. You can reach down to them that are kind of stagnant and empower them. And I try to never give up on a distributor. I'll leave them in my rap team page for 5-6 months until they physically are like, okay, I'm done or whatever. But by doing that also, I've also had many people jump back in. One actually is about to go diamond, and she did not run an auto ship or do anything after her 120 free product. She did not even respond to me for 5 months. And then as soon as I hit diamond, she reached out to me, was like, I cannot thank you enough for leaving me and still in those pages and still tagging me, and I want to do this diamond thing. I'm like, okay, and we had to meet like 8 times, but now she's doing really good. I can hold him if you need me to. Okay. He likes to talk. He's like me. All that to say, don't let things hold you back. Now, am I saying don't sponsor fast? No, not at all. But I just kind of want you to know what you're getting into. Because one of the things that you're going to have to do as an upline is remind them of their why when they want to quit. And that is so hard. It is so hard because you're sitting there and you're talking them through it and you're having the same thoughts in your head, but you do know that you were able to push past them and you do know what happened for you when you did. And so you have to be able to be that strong person even when you are weak. Now, my home life, I won't get into the details, it sucks right now. We have so much happening in my family, on every end of my family, my brothers, my parents, myself, my aunts. And it's like when it rains, it pours, I'm telling you, but I am just standing here and I'm like, okay, God, like, I wanted to quit every day last week. I'm just being completely real. Not because I don't love it works, but because I needed to focus on my family. And you know what I did? I got up earlier. I stayed up later. I drank more energy. I took a lot more Confianza. I drank a lot more wine. And ate a lot more chicken. And I made it happen because I know every single milestone, every single little rank, I can't talk, on this chart. I'm a pattern person. I like to journal, so I'll go back in my journals and I'm like, what is all this crap happening? Hang on, like that can just stay there. I'm gonna go over here. And I open my journal. This is like last Sunday. Had a bunch of stuff happen and I actually threw a chair at somebody in my house. And I was like, just like shaking, and I was like, what happened? Why did I do that? We're going to church right now. And so we went to church, and I just kind of stayed off my phone, and I went home, and I was like, oh my gosh, like what is going on? Like I was like, momentum, and then thing after thing after thing kept happening. And you know, normally I'm like, no excuses, but I'm like, no, like this is real life stuff. Like I have to take care of this, right? And I went back and I read my journal, and you know what? Every single time I was about to promote, every single time something crazy would happen. Crazy intense stuff, man. Like, I'm talking like fraud on my account, like that's been going on for 2 months, like with 2 different accounts, okay? Crazy stuff, like it's now identity theft, like $1,800 missing, okay? People dying in my family, divorce, my kids are emotional wrecks, like just crazy stuff that like I feel like I can't handle. And you know, it was a hard week, but you know what? I got through it and I'm still here. And 2 days ago, I realized that I wasn't like really stressed. And I was like, man, I could barely like even, Katie and I hung out multiple times last week and she can tell you, like, I was just like dead. And she's like, what? Talking about you. I mean, so she can vouch for you. Like last week was bad, right? It was hard. And I'm still here. And I look back now and I'm like, you know what? That was it. It's over now. And maybe more crap will get thrown at me, but I'm gonna keep going. And then last night, I haven't updated my chart in weeks. And I looked at it and look at you, I love you. There's even a pink straw. Yes. And I didn't realize how close I was to triple until I updated it. I mean, I haven't updated it in like a month. So all that to say, this is why I hate speaking, because I feel like I'm going I, and I hate talking about myself. So all that to say is hopefully that you can relate. Can some of you kind of relate to just like crap, or maybe reasons for not wanting to do the business? Or maybe you've been at the same rank forever. I was at Ruby for 5 months, you guys. 5 months. And I was a rock star. I'm not being a brat, like I was sponsoring people right and left. Tons of them. Did I get tons of fast starts? Yeah. Did they stick around? Nope, because I didn't know what I was doing. That's why I'm talking about this tonight. You have to get your why in your head. And I knew that I needed money, like I knew that. And I knew that I was sharing this because I loved it and I loved the products, and I still absolutely do. But did I do this yet? No, I didn't do this until right before I went diamond. I went to Katie's house and hung out and we made them. Did I start doing personal development books back then? Nope. Did I get, you know, business tools and gear? Nope. I didn't do any of those things right away. Those are things that you kind of need to do. Do you need to spend a ton of money? Absolutely not. But even if you did one book, if you borrow it, if you go to the library, Amy's a diamond on my team, she downloaded a really good book on her Kindle. Like, there's ways around spending money. If you need to turn your auto ship off and go sponsor loyal customers like a crazy person to get your volume up so you still get a check, then do it. Don't let finances hold you back. Like, you see that quote all over Facebook. It's like, don't let $40,000 a year hold you back from $40,000 a month, right? My goal is to be making $30,000 a month by October 2016. That's my goal right now. I don't care about the rank. Do you guys know about cabs?
Yes.
Cabs can make you $30,000 a month. It doesn't matter what rank you're at.
I don't know.
Okay. Okay, so a cab, I'm just gonna get off this for 1 second. And some leaders are like, oh, don't talk about this at trainings. Are you kidding me? Once I found this out, I took off in my business. A cab, do you guys know what fast starts are? Raise your hand if you know what fast starts are. Okay, so there's a lot of people who don't know what fast starts are. Okay, so fast starts are if you get a distributor. That's why we're talking about getting distributors tonight. If you get a distributor, and that distributor goes and gets 2 loyal customers, which they're going to want to, by the way, because they get a wrap reward. A wrap reward is an entire box of wraps for only $25. There's no shipping. They ship it to you in like 3 days. And you get to sell it for a $75 profit or wrap for free. So for the cost of 1 wrap, you get an entire box, you guys, like, or facials. You can choose either one. That's an infinity thing if it works. Every single time you get 2 customers, you get an entire box of wraps, okay? So your distributors are gonna want to do that. When you get 2 in your first 30 days, 2 loyal customers, 2 wholesale customers, you are now bonus qualified, which means you are now eligible for fast starts. When you become eligible for a fast start bonus, your sponsor gets $100 the following Friday. They don't have to wait for their monthly check. So when I found that out, I didn't know about that for 2 months, right? Yes, Joy did not sign distributors for like a month. So when I found that out, it was about that closing toward the end of my 2nd month. I was like, oh shoot, like I was just trying to get my 4 loyals. Oh my gosh, like $100, I need that. I'm about to lose my car, and I was. I went and got 6 distributors, and I just focused for like 3 days, and that's all I did. That's all that my posts were about, and that's all that my text messages were about, and that's all my phone calls were about. I was blitzing everybody I could think of. I called some folks from church, and when you're newer, people do get excited with you and they do want to jump in. You think the struggle's real now? Wait until you've been in for a while. Not to scare you either, but you have to get a little bit more creative. There are ways, they do train you, there's unlimited support, and there's like literally no way to fail if you'll just listen and take it to heart. But that was $600 in my second month, just in that month that I made in Fast Start bonuses. When that happened for me, and my check was only like $63, my second check, so you gotta figure $600, $63. Which one? If you're spending tons of energy on loyal customers, go get your 4 and then start working on your team. Don't keep working on a bunch of loyal customers, because once you do the art of duplication and you're working on, your team is working with you and they're trying to go get their 4, $100, $100, $100, $100. My goal is 10 distributors this month. That's $1,000 in Fast Start bonuses. I needed that because I was on state assistance. I built to Double Diamond extremely fast, and so you know, I was on, like I said, I started with nothing. I sold a bunch of baby clothes out of my garage to get my $99 kit. That's what I tell people to go do when they get, when they want to join. I tell them to post some stuff on a buy-sell trade site. I don't even tell them to pre-sell the 4 reps, because I want them to be able to have those reps when they get them, to be able to do their lunch party, so I don't have to loan out reps. And so that they are just starting their business debt-free. So I sold baby clothes. I got my $99 kit, and when I found out about Fast Starts, I just kind of took off. Well, as I learned how to train a team, and as I poured into myself more with personal development and kept watching more videos and stuff, which I did not do in the beginning. This is why this is so important that you do that for yourself, is pour into yourself, because it'll help you. But things started clicking. The only original team member from my very first round of those 6 people is Amy, and she is a diamond now on my team. So they all fell away. My entire first Ruby structure is gone, except Amy. And then I had to rebuild it, and then that whole structure is gone. And then the third time I rebuilt my Ruby, the only one that's left from my third one is Christina. Where are you? Back there, and she's a diamond. Okay, so perseverance, y'all. Keep going. You think I haven't had crap? I've had to rebuild a Ruby 3 times. 3 times. That's a lot. It's a lot of work. And 3 rubies is a diamond. If I would have known how to lead my team, I would have been diamond after 3 months. Think of it that way. And I kept going. The only reason I even went to conference in January was because I had already purchased my ticket. I sold so many baby items out of my garage that I had bought my airfare and everything. And I only went because of that, because in January my grandma died and I had so much going on, and the last thing I wanted to do was go to a conference and leave my babies and go all the way to Florida. But I made myself, and again, tons of crap happened that month. When I got back from conference, I went double diamond 4 months later. Like $35,000 in bonuses. My check is really big. For much bigger, not like really big, but like bigger than the average double diamond is. So it's awesome. Perseverance, you're not the only one. That's why I talked about that video in the beginning that she's like, oh, the big waves. I'm like, you have no idea their story. You have no idea. You think you're the only one that can't fit shooters. You think you're the only one that doesn't have crap happening. Your kids are whining. You're trying to make chicken. Like, come on, you know. So,
I have a quick question.
Yeah. What?
You were talking about the cabs.
Yeah, I was just gonna do. Yeah. No.
That's what I was gonna
Oh, okay. So cabs. So when you go diamond, you get a thing called a cab. So you get your fast start bonuses forever, right? Every time you get a distributor, and they get their 2. They have to be commission qualified though, and get their 2 LCs. It can't just be 2 LCs. So if you have somebody quit right away, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go put 2 LCs into them real quick, so I at least get my $100 fast start bonus. Nope. Guess what? They at least have to have their 80 BV auto ship on, or be at 150 PBV, personal business volume, and then you'll get that $100. So
but they're
maybe
commission qualified in the first 30 days anyways, right?
No. Yeah. Yes.
So
yes. But
if they get it within the first 30 days, does that count?
They not for fast starts. In the first 30 days, if you're trying to get a fast start, and say someone signs up and they're just weird. I've had a couple of those, and they just want to quit right away. And I've even had one like block me and just not talk to me, like, I'm quitting. I was like, oh, okay. Like, you were like, I got a diamond. And then she's like, I'm done. Okay, you're weird. And so she turned off everything, but she was still active. She's still active for, I think it's like 90 days or something.
Yeah.
Danny knows everything. I just asked him. So I have put 2 LCs under them before, but I tried to make it an LC that had a bigger order to bump them up to 150. And then say they're like not quite at 150 and you really want $100 off them, you can buy a box of greens that you were going to use anyway, move it underneath them, bump them up to 150, and then you got your product for yourself and you got your $100 fast start bonus. But a cab, and this is why if you're under Rhonda Hartman or Brianna or myself, you're probably seeing a contest going on right now for fast start bonuses. Yeah, that's because leaders want their cabs, which is not a bad thing. Of course, I want them too, right? But cabs, when you're diamond, you get the $100 fast start bonus, right? And you get that the following Friday. The next month, on your next paycheck, you get $80. It's called a cab bonus, so it's almost as much as a fast start. So you get $180 now when you're, is he okay?
Yeah.
Wipes. Might need to ask Christina. I have to ask her every week. She has no baby tonight. Okay. She's got some. Okay, my son never needs it when I have my diaper bag, but then when I don't have my diaper bag, he blows everywhere. He has a bottle too. I'll give you wraps. I'll buy you coffee.
Just treat me up. It's too white. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go back there and train them. Okay, so a cab bonus. So then it goes up per diamond rank, you guys. This is where the money is at. Double diamond, you get the $100 fast start bonus, but then on your paycheck, you get a $120 cab bonus. So now that I'm a double diamond, every time I go sign somebody and I get the fast start bonus, I'm so excited. I actually also got another $120 on the next check. This month, I'm not, it's against compliance. It works rules for me to tell you the exact amount of my check, but I will tell you this month in cabs, my cabs alone were like over $3,000. Okay, so, and I'm like a new double diamond. Wait till I've been in for a while. I don't even want to know. It scares me. So cabs are absolutely amazing. That's why everyone's like, get to diamond, get to diamond. It's not necessarily because it's $2,000 a month, you guys. It's because of the cabs. Like, the cabs are amazing. And trust me, when I found that out, I don't know why people don't talk about this more in trainings, because they're like, oh, we don't want to scare people. Why would that scare you? When I found that out, I went on a distributor signing spree, and I signed 28 distributors in 47 days. Okay, so, and it was because I wanted all those cabs. And, you know, of course, to go double and to change people's lives. I'm just saying, I'm gonna drink this because it costs money.
And we're out in court.
I gotta wash it down with alcohol. Oh, that's just awesome. Okay, I'm gonna go clean that machine. So, sorry, I gotta find myself on my notes.
Are we on step number 2 yet? Sorry.
What?
I'm taking notes. I want to know if I missed step number 2.
Step number 2? Are you kidding me? Joy's training. Hold on. So with the I'm not a whiteboard gal, sorry. So with the bonuses, right? Here's the cool thing. When you're a distributor, the fast start bonus, the $100 bonus, I hope you're following. Say you're a Ruby, right? Say you go get your 5 people. Tina's a good example. Did you get fast start bonuses off your people, right?
Yes.
Okay, so, and you only get it the one time, right? The first time that they got their 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We got the first 2 of those.
Mm-hmm. And then you have to go sign a new one to get another fast start.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the cool thing about cab bonuses. It's for infinity, which means I could be here and I could go sign Jennifer, who I just signed the other day. She's not here. But I could sign Jennifer, and I'm like, yay, you know, go get your 2 customers. And she goes and gets her 2 customers. She's like, yeah, I got my 2 customers. I'm like, woohoo, you're fast start qualified. And then I got $100. And then Jennifer goes, okay, I got my 4 LCs. After that, I'm gonna go get a distributor now. She goes and gets a distributor. And then she goes, okay, you know, you gotta go get your 2, and she pumps her up. I'm not doing anything. I trained Jennifer right. So Jennifer goes and does it. I may add her person on Facebook and like a few things on her page and maybe answer questions if she reaches out to me. If you're newer to growing a team, then I really encourage you to reach out to your downline, and be like, hey, like, I am here for you, you know, this is my name, blah, 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 because obviously if you don't have a huge downline yet, you should know like everyone on your team at this point. But I'm to the point where like, you know, some people walk in and I'm like, oh, I didn't even know you were on my team. So that's why it's so important that you train your distributors right. So Jennifer's gonna go get a distributor, train that one to go get 2 LCs and to set up her ADVV auto chip. So she does that, right? Let's name her Emily. So Emily does that, she said, Jennifer, I got it. And Jennifer goes, yay, awesome, Emily, you were fast start qualified, I got $100, woohoo. And I'm over here like, I got $120, y'all, like you only got 100, So that's CAB bonuses. And it's infinity down. So now Emily is gonna go sign Crystal, and Crystal's gonna sign Alyssa, Alyssa's gonna sign Amy, and Amy's gonna sign Rhonda, Rhonda's gonna sign Chanel, I just called her Michelle. And Chanel's gonna sign Amber, and Amber's gonna sign Madison. And then Madison's gonna go double diamond. And I'm making $120 off all those, okay? Isn't that insane? Yeah. And you don't even know their names until you go onto the reports and you really get deep into your charts. That's why I don't update my triple diamond chart very often, because it takes a very long time.
After you hit diamond.
Yeah, after you hit diamond, you get CAB bonuses, and they're infinity down. So it's super important that you stay in touch with your distributors the first like 60 days or so. I mean, obviously forever, but I'm talking like every other day you're messaging them, you're talking to them. Do you want me to take him, Crystal?
He might be happy with you.
Okay.
I don't know.
I can take him.
I don't mind.
Come here, Bubba.
He had a blowout.
Oh no, you're wearing it. It works fine. I knew if I put that $17 onesie on him, he would ruin it. Did he ruin it?
It'll come out.
Okay, lovely. So I'm probably gonna need a Vanna White in a minute, which is usually Katie. Where's Katie at? So in a second, I'm gonna need your help because now I have Bubba. Hi. Yeah.
Do you want me to help?
What's he saying? Okay.
Joy, you get me instead of Katie.
Okay, sounds good. So no, Bubba, you can't. Okay, so that's CAB bonuses. So at this point, you got your Y, and now you know that there's a huge reason to get to diamond, right? And I'm gonna tell you something. Diamond's made out of 3 rubies. We don't have time to get into ruby tonight. But if you go onto Ashley Hughes' YouTube channel, she has a video that's about, I think it's like 6 minutes long, and it says what you're going to need to go ruby in 60 days. And then she has another video posted right after that on her YouTube channel called How to Build to Ruby. So she talks about what you need, and then she talks about how to put it all together. So diamond is just 3 rubies. It's you going ruby, I'm hiccuping, and showing 2 people how to go ruby. Double diamond is 5 rubies. I don't even know, Danny, do you know how much triple is? I'd have to do it. See, this is like, I just watch people put their names on my chart, like I don't even know. But it's like 7 or 8. Anyway, so if you can understand ruby, you can get to anywhere in the company. Crystal, I'm ready for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so, nope, I'm just gonna have to talk in here. Grab the monthly income charts. Do any of my leaders have more of these on them, perchance? The monthly income chart?
I do.
Grab that one too.
I have a few.
Who has a few? Oh, can you bring more up here? Do you have some too? The monthly income chart? Oh, I don't need a triple diamond chart.
How many were there?
Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, 12. That's why it's harder. I was like, oh, 7 rubies to go triple plum. Okay, so, did she just bring them to you?
No.
Okay, we need more.
I got more in my bag too.
Oh, no, you're fine. Okay, so why don't you go on this side and then just hand those out and have people start passing that around.
Okay.
And then when Katie gets hers, she can pass it around on that side. So as this is going around, I've done this before, but now that you have your reason for doing the business, maybe it's some loans, maybe it's some debt, maybe it's to stay home with your babies. I want you to have that why in your head. And I want you to look at the income chart, and if you need to hold it for an extra 10 seconds, do it. And don't just look at, what your eyes are probably doing right now is you're looking at the rank that you're charting towards. Maybe it's ruby, or maybe you're done with ruby, maybe you're going to emerald now. Or maybe you know from the beginning that double diamond is what you want and what you need. Okay, so if your eyes are falling on double diamond, I want you to look at the next 2 beyond that. Okay? Don't let it scare you. It's just a whole bunch of more rubies. Like a lot of them. And that's okay. Okay, so for me, this is really, really hard because double diamond's really hard before kids, right? Like super, super freaking hard. Not to get there. But once I'm there, then your team explodes, and you feel like you have to be there for everybody on your downline. And you don't, because if you're training your people that you signed right, then they're going to be that for that person. Okay, so as you're passing that around, look at what is going to really, really help you and your family. But then I want you to dream at least one step bigger, if not two. No, Luke. Okay. Okay. Does anybody want a baby? Okay. He has a bottle. Do you need more?
I can get more out of your bag.
I knew there was a reason it had such a big team. Pass the baby. Okay. So, are you starting to think of more things that you can do now with that number? Yeah? Okay, I'm going to say it again. Are you starting to think of more things that you can do now with that number?
Yes.
Okay, this was hard for me because all I could see was double diamond. But let me just tell you something. My check right now is bigger than a double diamond check. When that happened, I immediately started dreaming bigger. And when I realized that a month after hitting double diamond that can happen for me, I was like, oh my gosh, I really need to dream bigger. I need like 10 of these. So really start thinking, I want you to think of a debt that you can pay off. I want you, with the rank that you're looking at, I want you to think of maybe some stuff that you want to buy, maybe some stuff you want to buy for your house, stuff you want to buy for your kids, maybe it's something for your kids to be doing. For me, it was private school, and then I told them they could choose one activity this fall to be a part of. Of course, they chose horseback riding. Like, lovely. So start thinking of those things. Think of 5 like big things that you're kind of like, oh, I don't know when I'll be able to do that. I had a new distributor say, well, maybe I'll go on a cruise in like 4 or 5 years. I'm like, girl, do you understand that we have a free cruise right now with It Works that you can earn? And even if you don't earn it, you can go do it on your own. Okay. So I'm just going to pick random people. This is what I was talking about. We're going to get a little out of our comfort zone. Jen, what number did you pick? What rank?
What rank did I pick?
Yeah.
Triple diamond.
What?
Triple diamond.
Triple diamond. And was that the one that you're working toward, or was that dreaming bigger?
Dreaming bigger.
That was dreaming bigger.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you going to do with $10,000 a month? What's 5 things that you want to do?
I want to be able to have the freedom to go and travel and photograph anything I want.
What do you want to
Without having
photograph?
take. So I'm a photographer. So I have to take off time from my other job. I want to be able to quit my day job.
So you want to travel?
Go and wherever I
You just want to go wherever you want. Who are you going to take with you?
Whoever wants to come along.
Okay. Is there a special somebody?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, but you can dream
Yeah,
bigger, right?
you might.
Heck, I am. I'm like, I want this and this and this and this and this time, and I'm not waiting. Or this time I'm waiting. So where do you want to travel to?
I'm going to go down the West Coast.
Okay, what are you going to do? What are you going to photograph along the way? You don't know yet.
Anything and everything. I really want to go see the giant sequoias.
You want to see the what?
The giant sequoias.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. What is that? I don't even know what that is.
Giant redwoods.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
In like Northern California.
Wow, that'd be awesome. And you're super good at photography. You see what I'm doing? Are you catching on, you guys? I'm getting into her why. I'm not like, pick a rank and what could work for your family. Ruby, okay, awesome, we have a Ruby bonus, great. It's $99 to start, you get 4 boxes of reps. No. I'm like, look at this, dream bigger. What can this do for you? Get specific. Danny, what do you want to do? What do you, I know you want to be double diamond, but maybe dream a little bit bigger. What would you do with presidential? What would you do with $16,000 a month? I already know the answer. You're going to help a bunch of people.
It'll probably help people be able to travel, be able to buy the storage units I want to.
Where are you going to travel to?
Probably visit my brother in Florida. I'd like to have an RV so I can travel all the states in the United States.
I want to go. It's awesome. Who are you going to help?
Whoever needs it.
What do you want to do for your kids?
Just help them have what they want and what they need.
What they need. See, I don't have a problem giving my kids what they want. I still have to give them a little, and I get all excited and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. But then I'm like, well, shoot, I have to make them work for it. I'm like, go clean your room, like, go do this. Okay, what's your name? Tamsy? Tamsin. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Okay, what rank did you pick?
Triple diamond.
Triple diamond. Okay, what rank are you at right now?
I just started.
You just started. You're looking at triple diamond. That's awesome. Can I just tell you, like, that inspires me. I couldn't even look at triple diamond until like 2 months ago. So that's amazing. What are you thinking? What's your why? Let's be really quiet for the people that are speaking right now. Sorry, I can't hear you.
I'm good. There's a few things, but in the end, I want to build a handicap accessible home for my son.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh. For you guys, right?
Yeah.
Not like a public, okay.
No,
Awesome.
for us. I have
Awesome.
a son with lots of disabilities,
Oh
so
my
I want
gosh.
it to be all.
Yeah.
And that way, when
Yeah.
we're gone, he's got somewhere that's right for him.
What are you going to have in that house? I mean, triple diamond, that's $10,000 a month. If you saved for a year, like, what would you add on to that house?
No, there would be, safety precautions. There would be big handicap accessible bathrooms with a toilet and a shower. I mean, these are things you got to think about.
Yeah.
What
kind of backsplash are you gonna have?
I haven't thought that far.
You got to
I'm
dream
just looking
bigger.
forward to not lifting him into the bathtub.
Right? Heck yeah, that's amazing. I love that. What's your son's name?
Sam.
Sam. Oh, Christina has a Sam. That's a little girl though. Are you gonna have gardens?
No.
No. Okay.
They take work, and I don't weed.
Okay. You don't weed. You don't have a green thumb.
Actually, I could hire someone at that point.
You
so.
can hire someone. Heck yeah. I just hired somebody. Like
Okay.
Andrea's husband just came and did mine. It was awesome. I was like, yeah, and I got to pay for it in cash. I didn't have to put it on a credit card. Are you gonna have, like activities for him there? Like what kind of, have like a giant TV? Like, you thinking about stuff like that?
There's a lot of things you dream and think about.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a reality of it.
Yeah.
I mean, we have like a handicap accessible swing and things like that,
Mhm.
but I'd like to have a whole play thing out back for him that
Yeah.
is safe and
Heck yeah.
gentle and
That's
maybe
awesome.
some padded walls in the
That's
house.
so, oh my gosh, I love it. And you can,
Yeah.
you guys, you can. I'm 27 years old. I've done this in 8 months. Like, I don't know when I'm gonna hit triple diamond, but I'm hoping to this year. I know that I will. Make a dream board. Do you see what I'm doing? Get specific. I had an old dream board, and actually, I'm gonna change this one again. One thing that I added on was I just had like a black pickup truck before, and then I'm like, heck no, GMC Denali. I had wine on my last one just because I like wine. I was like trying to think of early things. And then I put a vineyard on there. I'm like, I want to go to Italy. I want to like go to see wine being made. Like I'm obsessed. I was really timid. Anyone who was on my team 7 months ago, like maybe I was chatty with them in my house, but I could never do this ever. Brianna is my upline, and she would ask me to come speak in Puyallup, and I was like, nope, not gonna do it. So I put on their boldness. I want to be fearless. Double. That's gone. Do I have triple on here? Oh, I do. Okay. So I need presidential. Oh, I have presidential. Okay. So I'm dreaming a little bit bigger. One thing I really wanted was an office. So I don't have a lot of pictures on here, but I had to get specific because, and my upline did this with me. She was like, what do you want to do, Joy? And I was like, I want to have a peaceful house. And she was like, okay. And I was like, my house has never been peaceful. Any of my good friends know that. It's unorganized. It drives me nuts. My kids are a little bit crazy. We don't have quite a bit of structure. And I want structure. And I'm not someone who's very organized. And so I want to have someone come in and literally help me do closets and like everything. And she's like, oh, okay, at the house that you're in now? And I'm like, yeah, like I want someone to come help me with my closets. And she's like, okay, well, what do you not like about your house now? And I was like, well, I hate the appliances, and I hate the kitchen, and I hate the floors, and I hate that it's not enough rooms for us. I hate my yard. I hate my busy street. And she's like, so you need a new house. And I was like, well, yeah, I guess I need a new house. And she's like, okay, so where's that house going to be? And I'm like, I really want property, actually, so I'm not quite sure. Maybe like Skagit County. I love like the tulip fields and all that. And she's like, okay, well, what are you going to have there? And I saw where she was going with this, but I just let her do her thing. And she's like, what do you want to have there? And I go, I want to have a big barn. She goes, why do you want to have a barn? And I just like started crying because Before I had kids, I wanted to do weddings, and I wanted to redo a big giant barn and be able to rent it out on my property for people to do weddings. Why am I getting into this? Because this is what you need to be doing when you're sponsoring distributors, but you cannot do that until you've tasted it yourself. There's a reason that we're doing this exercise right now. Tay, what rank did you pick?
I picked presidential.
Yeah, I love it. Yay. Okay, sorry, no one said that yet, so that's awesome. Okay, what are you thinking of doing with presidential?
Oh my goodness.
That's 16 grand a month.
I know.
The cap is so high that I haven't even looked it up yet. I think it's like 250.
I want an all-white four-door Jeep. Like
Okay.
I've wanted one since forever. And my
Yeah.
husband's not allowed to drive in it.
Oh, your husband's not allowed to drive it. Okay.
It's fine. Like, it's fine. He still thinks I'm crazy. I told him, because he's gone right now, I told him I was going to go test drive one so that I can, like, feel it.
You can come with me tomorrow. I'm gonna go test drive yours.
I will.
That's probably all I'm doing is test driving tomorrow. I hope I can get one tomorrow. But so what? You're gonna have like some awesome rims on that Jeep?
You know what? No, because
No.
I want to, like, I mean, okay, no, I'm not that, like, rough and tumble. But, like, I want to go camping. We have
Okay.
dirt bikes.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily want to be on the dirt bike all the time, but I want to roll up in the really cool
Heck
Jeep
yeah.
that's towing the dirt bike. And then when they ask him about his car, I want to be like, no, it's mine.
Right. And then they're gonna be like, oh wow, like you sure spoil your wife, and you're like, oh, I worked for that Jeep. You have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
mean, my
feel
husband makes good money, and he's got lots of bonuses with his job, and I want to make more money than him. I do, so bad, because he still doesn't think that this is like a job. And I made more money last month than I made personal training, and he's still, like, it's not a job. And this
Wow.
is really, I mean, it's so easy with this.
Can I just tell you something? You're not alone with that whole husband department.
Right.
My ex was like, this is not a job, like you need to be working on the house and stuff like that. And I'm like, let me tell you something. Those dirty dishes are gonna be there tomorrow, whether I'm doing it works or not. There may be more right now. That dirty floor, that can be vacuumed by somebody that I'm paying because I'm not gonna do it right now. I'm creating a legacy for my family because I refuse to wait until I'm 60 and I still don't have retirement and I'm still at Boeing. And thank you, sister. And all that, I mean, I see my father-in-law, he retired from Boeing for 40 years. I hope he's not tech savvy and watching this, but he's probably not. But he retired from Boeing for 30 years, and he immediately went and got a job. And I was like, what are you doing? Well, I can't afford my bills. I'm like, and he is like completely like, I mean, for the most part, I think he's debt free. That he lives on like a super tight budget. I mean, he's never helped us, so he's sure he's gonna want some money. I'm just kidding. So there's no reason why he is like 60 and he shouldn't be able to pay for his bills, right? And it's so sad. I help my parents every single month buy groceries, still. And I've been doing that since I was 17. And sometimes they get lucky, they own a business. And my dad's an architect, but everyone's like, ooh, architect. I'm like, no, you have no idea, like no one's building. But sometimes he'll get lucky and he'll do a really big house and he'll get extra money and then he used to help me, so I'm okay with it. But the point is like, I refuse to settle. You have to get to that point where you understand that and you get all set up in your head. And again, you can literally do this just tonight before you can start signing distributors. Perfect, we're on time, so that's good. Okay, so, did you see what I did there? Okay, you caught on to that? Okay. So, really quick, I'm going to read, I almost said the scripture, sorry. It's not a scripture, it's a book. I've been at my church too much this week. Okay. So invest in some of these books. The reason why I put them up is so that you can look at them. Don't be like me and get all excited and order like 10 at a time, because I can tell you right now I'm not through all of these yet. I've read a couple of them. A lot of them I've actually passed down to my team because I'm done with them now. But one of them, if you could get any out of all this, it's Start With Why. Some of the names of the people affected by this book are William Ari, co-author of Getting to Yes. So this is a guy completely has nothing to do with this book. He wrote his own book, which is a New York Times bestseller, for Getting to Yes, okay? And he says, Start With Why is one of the most useful and powerful books I've ever read in my years. Simple and elegant, and shows us how leaders should lead. General Chuck Horner is the air boss for Operation Desert Storm, for the military. He says, start with why fanned the flames inside me. This book can lead you to levels of excellence beyond your wildest imagination. You will never be able to consider, this book can never consider your goals attainable. I do need reading glasses, Brooklyn broke them. The next one is this long name, and it's former ambassador with a special envoy to Iraq. And he says, oh my God, no. Thank you though. The whole thing went white. I messed up, sorry. That's one thing I'm doing when my money gets put in is getting glasses. Each story will force you to see things from an entirely different perspective, a perspective that is nothing short of the truth. Okay, so that was also just really quick to show you that this book is not like a network marketing book. It's not something that's just for It Works people. There's generals in the military that are being affected by this book. So super good book, go get it. It was like $9. Start with why. So this is what they say. Doing business is like dating. I'd like to introduce you to an imaginary friend. His name is Brad. Brad is going on a date tonight. It's a first date and he's pretty excited. He thinks the woman he's about to meet is really beautiful and that she would make a great prospect. Okay, like this is a guy writing the book and I'm like, is this how they think? Like, that's just weird. Brad sits down for dinner and he starts talking. I am extremely rich. I have a big house. I drive a beautiful car. My name is Brad. I know lots of famous people. I am on TV all the time, which is good because I'm good looking. I've actually done pretty well for myself. The question is, does Brad get a second date?
No!
I love all the women in here. There's like a couple guys that are like, yeah. Oh my gosh. The way we communicate and the way we behave is all a matter of biology. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
That means that we can make some comparisons between the things that we do in our social lives and the things that we do in our professional lives. Okay. This is why they say give It Works a year and it'll change your life. I cannot tell you how many aspects change loyal customers' orders. Okay, so that's another tip if you're busy, set timers, because, anyway, I'm going to go back. So, it'll change so many different things other than just your business. After all, people are people. To learn how to apply why to a business situation, you needn't, is that a word? Look much further than how you act on the date. Because in reality, there is no difference between sales and dating. I bet you're like, what did I come to tonight? In both circumstances, it ends really good, so just bear with me. You sit across the table from someone and hope that you say enough of the right things to close the deal. Of course, you could always opt for a manipulation or two, a fancy dinner, dropping hints of tickets that you have to someone that you may know, depending on how badly you want to close the deal. You could tell them anything that they want to hear. Promise them the world, and the odds are good that you will close the deal. Once. Maybe twice. With time, however, maintaining that relationship will cost more and more. No matter the manipulations you choose, this is not the way to build a trusting relationship. In Brad's case, it is obvious that the date did not go too well for Brad. The odds are not good that he will get a second date, and he's certainly not done a good job of laying down the foundation to build a relationship. Ironically, the woman's initial interest may have been generated based on those elements. She agreed to go on the date because her friends told her that Brad was good looking and that he had a good job, and that he knew a lot of famous people. Even though all those things may be true, what's, so keep that in your head, what's don't drive decision making. What's should be used as proof of why, and the date that plainly fell flat. Let's send Brad out again. This time, he's going to start with why, not with what. You know what I love about my life? He says this time, I get to wake up every day and do something that I love. I get to inspire people to do things that inspire them. It is the most wonderful thing in the world. In fact, the best part is trying to figure out all the different ways that I can do that. It is really amazing, and believe it or not, I've actually been able to make a lot of money from it, which I didn't even expect. I bought a big house, and I did get a nice car. I do get to meet lots of famous people. I get to be on TV all the time, which is fun because I am good looking, but I am very lucky that I'm doing something that I love. I've actually been able to do pretty well because of it. This time the chances Brad will get a second date assuming that whoever's sitting across from him believes what he believes, and he's not faking it, went up exponentially. Okay? And more importantly, he's also laying a good foundation for a relationship, one based on values and based on beliefs. He said all the same things as on the first date. The only difference is he started with why. And all the whats, all the tangible benefits, served as proof of that why. So they're saying that like the materialistic stuff, the car, the house, all this materialistic stuff that we just talked about, is okay now because you have the right motives. So and if you don't follow this so far, that's forming trust. I noticed that the people that have stuck around the longest on my team that now build on their own, and all I have to do is just check in with them, are the ones that I have a relationship with. The ones that don't really respond to me and stuff, I reach out to them, but they just kind of stay stagnant. Because they're just not there yet. Now consider how most companies do business. Someone sits down across the table from you, they've heard that you're a good prospect, and they start talking. Our company is extremely successful. We have beautiful offices. You should stop by and check them out sometime. We do business with all the biggest companies and all of the brands. Someone with Amway was messaging me about that. All this stuff, and I was like, dude, you just sound like a sleazy sales guy. I didn't even respond. I'm sure that you have seen our advertising. We are actually doing pretty well. In business, like a bad date, many companies work so hard to prove that their value is there without saying why they exist in the first place. It's just ridiculous. You'll have to do more than show your resume before someone finds you appealing. That is exactly what companies do. They provide you with a long list of their experience, what they've done, whom they know, all with the idea that you will find them so desirable that you will have to drop everything to do business with them. But people are people, and the biology of decision making is the same, no matter whether it is a personal decision or a business decision. We're almost done. It's obvious that in the dating scenario, it was a bad date, so why would we expect it to be any different in the business scenario, right? Like on a date, it is exceedingly difficult to start a business or to start building a trusting relationship with a potential customer or client by trying to convince them of all the rational features and benefits. Those things are important, but they serve only to give credibility to a sales pitch and allow buyers to rationalize their purchase decision. We're almost done. As with decisions, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And what you do serves as the tangible proof of why you do it. But unless you start with why, all people have to go on, that makes no sense, all people have to go on are the rational benefits. And chances are you won't get a second date. See where they're going? Okay. Last thing. Here's the alternative. You know what I love about our company? Every single one of us comes to work every day and we do something that we love. We get to inspire people to do things that inspire them. It's the most wonderful thing in the world. In fact, the fun part is trying to figure out all the different ways we can do that. It really is amazing. The best part is it's also good for business at the same time. We do really well. We have beautiful offices. You should stop by sometime to see. We work with some of the biggest companies. I'm sure you've seen our ads. We're actually doing pretty well. Now, how certain are you that the second pitch was better than the first? Okay, so you see how incredibly important it is that when you just see your upline and people that you look up to posting all over Facebook, dream bigger, it works. Cool, well, why? Like, why should I dream bigger? So I'm telling you, this is why you need to dream bigger. This is why you need to do this. When Bree was doing this with me, and she was like, okay, so you need a bigger house, like, what do you want? And I started telling her all these different things, and I wanted a garden, and I wanted a dog that behaves, and I wanted, like, things like that, and my dog's crazy. I have this beautiful picture for this beautiful dog, and it's insane. But anyway, and she's like, okay, well, what kind of walls are you gonna have? And I was like, well, even before it works, I wanted green walls. And she goes, okay, awesome. Are you gonna have someone come in and do that, or are you gonna do it yourself? I'm like, I want to have it professionally painted. I want it to be like an eggshell tone. And she's like, okay, get more specific, dream bigger. And we got into the appliances, we got into the floors, and at the end of our conversation, I was bawling my head off because not that I'm materialistic, but as a mother and as someone who never grew up with money, who didn't marry for money, who never had money, who actually had lack thereof, and most things are like probably make me go bankrupt with money, it's hard for me to think of those things. It's hard for me to wrap my mind around it. When someone has a Scentsy party, I'm like, heck yeah, I want to buy Scentsy, but I don't have the money. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me when I need to buy formula. That's just how my brain works. And now, I'm not saying I just go and spend much money or anything at all. That's not what I'm saying. But now I can look at this and go, I can dream bigger. If I want this, I can go get a fast start bonus this week and go get it. I wanted a shark mop this week, so I got a fast start bonus. I'm getting it on Friday, and I'm gonna go get my shark mop, and I'm so excited. But I did it the right way. So, this is definitely something that can take you somewhere really, really far. I wanted to compare it to, okay, good. I wanted to compare it to school, and I'm sure that you've thought of this on your own. When you're going to college, I have a degree and a half. I talk about it all the time. I've never been able to use either of them. I have a degree in subtropical marine biology. I'm in Washington. And then I had all my prereqs done for nursing, minus 12 credits, and then I was going to be able to go into nursing school. That's actually where I met Alyssa, who is an Emerald now on my team. And I've never been able to use either of them because life happened. I had babies, I fell in love, and I wouldn't change anything for the world. But I just accepted that for so long. I was like, if I want something or if I want to go out to eat, I have to go pick up another shift. Or I have to babysit on the weekend. Or I have to go clean someone's house. My hands, I don't know if you can see them, they are so screwed up because I cleaned houses on the side for so many years and I just kept forgetting to wear gloves. And every single time I got that money and I wanted to go to Old Navy or Starbucks or go see a movie with a friend or go get a pedicure, every time I had to go to a bill. This is unlimited, y'all. And if what you're doing isn't working, try something else. But where you're at right now, who's just a distributor so far? Okay, so most of the room, you're not just a distributor. You are what you want to be on that rank. If you want to be triple diamond, you need to walk into the room like, dang it, I'm a triple diamond, like I am this. Somebody told me that. They're like, Joy, you need to walk into the room like you are Joy Gillard. And I was like, but I don't want to speak, I don't want to do this. Like, I just started training so that other people could speak and be empowered. And they're like, no, because now you're not doing it. And I'm like, okay, this is why I have an accountability partner. If you don't have one, get one. That's why I was talking about meeting people in the room. I have 2 accountability partners, Sarah Hayden, who's a double diamond, on a totally different team. And then I have Paisley, who is a diamond on a totally different team. They're not on my downline because it's so nice to have a sideline that you can vent to and relate to and bounce ideas off of. And then they hold you up when you're down. And trust me, I get down a lot. I'm human. Did you guys see my Facebook status today? Why am I successful? Okay, I'm gonna read it. Because that wasn't me. Paisley actually sent me that. And Paisley's my accountability partner. And I liked it so much that I was like, I'm gonna put it into my words, and I'm gonna keep saying this until I believe it. Why do I succeed? I succeed because I'm willing to do the things that you are not. I got so many messages from that first sentence that I put on my Facebook today. How dare you? You don't know, and you're judging, and you don't know that I'm not doing that. And I'm like, did I say your name? You're sure having a little bit of guilt tripping right there. Like, did I hit a sore spot? Yeah? You might want to take care of that. Watch some more YouTube videos. Go look in the mirror and say you're triple diamond 10 times fast. Okay, so why do I succeed? I succeed because I'm willing to do the things that you are not. I will fight against the odds. I will sacrifice. I am not shocked by fear. You get that? I'm not fearless. I'm not shocked by fear. I fully expect there to be fear in this business, y'all. I was scared crapless coming up here. I went to the bathroom like 3 times. It's hard to come up here and do this. I am not shocked by fear, insecurity, or doubt. I know that it's coming, but I feel these emotions, but I will drink them in and I will swallow them to the darkness of hell. I know that that's a little intense, but the point is, kick it back behind you and go forward. The point is that those things are real and they're going to be thrown at you, and that's just life. Whether you are doing it works or not, guess what? If you work at Red Robin, if you work at a restaurant, if you babysit kids, if you work at Best Buy, whatever, there's still going to be crappy days, right? But you have to go to work, right? Your coffee is going to spill. You're going to be late. You may have to fire someone that day. Andrew's like, oh my God. It could be like the crappiest day at work, but guess there's bills that you gotta pay. Your why. Why not have that, but like dream bigger, and then you get to go and it's fun. And then when the people quit or they're just being rude at you, you know that you can block them and go get another one. So I feel these emotions too. I'm motivated by accomplishment, not by pride. Pride consumes the weak. It kills their heart from within. I thought of so many people when I read this quote. Okay. I'm gonna say it again. I'm motivated by accomplishment, not pride. Pride consumes the weak because it kills their heart from within. Don't get prideful. If I fall, I will get up. If I am beaten, I will return. It doesn't matter how long it takes. I will never stop getting better. Not saying like, I'm gonna crush all of you. It's like, I'll never stop getting better. So if it means that my team stops believing in their why and my double diamond crumbles, so be it. I'll rebuild again. I'm not saying that that's gonna happen. I don't think there's any way that's gonna happen because my team is freaking amazing. But I'm just saying, you have to keep getting up. Christina messaged me today and she goes, someone joined another team and I'm so hurt because I trained her and I poured into her and I was working on her for months since I first joined. And then she just joined another team. I'm so bummed. And I was like, and that sucks because I know who she's talking about. We thought she was gonna join our team. We were so excited. And I started thinking about it and I went on her Facebook and everything was just so negative. Negative. And you know what I said to her? I said, God did not want her on your charts. You don't want that, because trust me, it's a waste of breath. There's so many fish in the sea. I wish we had an app like Plenty of Fish, the dating site, which I'm totally on right now. But like a different app that's like Plenty of Potentials or something. I don't know. That'd be so easy. It would just be so easy. That's called a rat fairy. It doesn't exist. I will never stop getting better. I will not give up ever, and that is why I succeed. So, if you have a job, all that crap's gonna happen. Your coffee's gonna spill, you're gonna be late, you're gonna get written up, whatever. You're gonna disagree with someone, but you have to keep going. Do that if it works, okay? One of the biggest things, if you're taking notes for getting distributors, is when you start talking to them, to get into their why. The first thing I do, I'll hold up a pretend monthly, come to her, there it is. The first thing I do, I guess there's a lot of things I do at the beginning is I get to know them, first of all. And I start, watching for people that, oh, it's spoiled milk. That's why it tastes so bad. Look at it, it's all cream. Ugh. Anyways, one thing that I do is I look for people that need things that I needed. People that are tired, people that have young babies. I really target people that are about to have a baby. And I'm like, have you ever thought about doing this? I started messaging a couple of friends today. And a couple of them were like, no, but I'm interested in greens. It's like, ding, 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 cool. Well, someday maybe you'll be a little customer and then you'll change your distributor, you don't know. But one of them actually was like, yeah, and I've never, ever, ever, ever talked to her about it before. You just don't know. Sometimes I get a lot of no's and sometimes they want to. So if you get as far as they're starting to be like, well, what do I have to do? Like, what can it do for me? Well, how much are you really making or whatever? Send them this. And don't get into cabs. Don't get into everything that we just got into at like a training. But send them this. And just let it speak for itself. I do that with the steps to success too. I never send a chart ever until after they've joined. Because the ones that I've sent a chart to before they joined, they did not join. I think it just scares them. I don't know why. I'm like, it's 5 squiggly boxes. Like, it's not a big deal. And it's a lot easier than you think because once they join, they have incentives too, but whatever. So don't send charts, but send this. And I like the monthly one. I mean, this has changed a little bit. It's a little bit, this used to be a low average and it's a little bit of a higher average now. So, I mean, if you have to screenshot the more current one, that's fine, but this is only off by a little bit. So I like to send them the monthly one because a lot of people live month to month. They can't wrap their mind around yearly. Somebody that just joined my team asked how much I made yearly, and I said, actually, I don't know. And I had to actually go in and add up how much I made in the last year, almost year. Haven't been in a year yet, but, and then I was like, oh, wow, I made a lot. So send them the monthly one. The other thing that I like to do, if you're taking notes, And again, I know I say Ashley Hughes a lot, you guys. If you find someone else that you relate to better, then relate better to somebody else. That's just someone who has really, really helped. Her YouTube channel has completely built my business. I mean, I know that I've built my business, but I implement everything that that girl teaches. They talk about copying the right cat. Copy the right cat. Like, you don't want to just copy a distributor next to you. You want to copy one who's promoting fast, or who maybe it took them 8 years, but now they're ambassador. Like, obviously they figured out what was the right things to do. This is why I suggest following multiple leaders from different teams even, because you're going to get so many different personality types, and they talk about that in this book, following different people with different personality types who are all successful, because then you're going to get a different edge, and you're going to know like quickly what to say and how to recognize people, and how to talk to them. So, Ashley Hughes has 2 videos. Well, she has a million, but 2 that I've really started using. And again, I used to use different videos and they didn't work so well, and I've changed it now. The first thing I send, and I got a potential on the way here, she messaged me and I was like, I'm so sorry, I'm gonna go train, blah, blah, blah. If you can't come, watch this video, I'll connect with you after training at this time. And then I set a timer right away because I will forget. See, it says put kids to bed, that never happened. So if you have to do that, then do it. If you're forgetful like me, then you have to do that. I literally have no brain at all, and I've been able to do this because of timers on my phone. When someone calls and needs help changing something, low customer, anything, I make it immediately to remind me. So I will send them the video that's called Ashley Hughes 1 Year. It's Eye of the Tiger. It's starting with nothing. Her card got declined for trying to purchase $2 baby wipes, all the way to Presidential Diamond. Or, sorry, her first year is all the way to Double Diamond. And then they're like, wow. Or if it says that they like read your message, maybe, but they haven't responded, it probably is like they haven't watched the video yet. So I'll give them like 20 minutes, and then I'll respond again like, hey, did you have a chance to watch that video? Oh, no, not yet, I'll be home at this time, cool. And then set a timer on your phone for what time they're gonna be home. Or if that doesn't work for you, then set it for a little bit later. But like, stay on top of it, because it only takes a couple of days usually to get somebody to sign, for me at least. Sometimes it takes them longer, and that's okay. And then I just add them to my hundreds list. But I'm talking about like a hot lead, when someone's like, hey, what is it works? Or they like one of your posts about join my team, blah, blah, blah. You want to stay on top of those. John Eric Mosler, who's our social media guru with It Works, he talks about basically if you have not done the follow-up in the first, I think he said 48 hours, it's gone. Which I kind of agree with and I kind of don't, because there's a girl who's about to go diamond also on my team, and I followed up with her for 5 months. But I think he's talking about like someone who's just flat out interested. Like that girl, I kind of was like just messaging her out of the blue. So send them that video. That video is so exciting, or find a different video if you don't like that one. But the point is, it's Ashley Hughes' 1 year anniversary. It's like her 1 year anniversary with It Works. And I need to find someone who knows how to do social media, because I've been doing this for 8 months, and I've actually kept every single picture back when Amy and I were nothing, and we were working booths and everything, and we got 2 loyal customers, and we were so excited. We're like, yeah! And then their cards declined the next month, but we're like, that's okay, we still got 2 loyals. And I've saved all of that, and I journal too, and so I want to put that into my own video, but this is just to show you, you do not need your own testimony yet, you guys. If you're not like Double Diamond or Diamond or whatever, you can pull from other people's stories. And that's okay. And it's super, super, super important that you keep up the excitement. Use exclamation points. Don't use 100 of them. That's too many. But use 1. Be like, I'm so excited for you, blah, blah, blah. Or like, yay, I'm so glad you're wanting the business. Send this to them. And then leave whatever the last thing you're going to say to them before you say you send the video. You don't just want to be like, here, watch this video, and then send it. The last thing you say to them is what you want to stick in their head. Remember that always. If you're blitzing someone and you can only talk to them for 30 seconds, leave them with something profound. When I used to serve and I would meet people and customers and you're chit-chatting, like, a little small talk, whatever. How you doing? How's your day going? Blah, blah. You start talking, and then, eventually they've had a few drinks, they start talking more, whatever. And then sometimes those customers would be the only light at the end of my tunnel that night. I could be having the crappiest shift, and a good customer would come in and just be talking, and I'd feel so much better. Your potentials are in the same boat. They could be having the crappiest thing ever, and half the time when they're writing you, it's because of that. Be that light in their life. Even if you got 30 seconds to say something, let it be profound. So when a customer used to talk to me, sometimes they would say something like, toward the end of the night, I mean, after we really got to know each other, and they'd say something like, oh yeah, like I have a degree in whatever, and I'd be like, wow. Don't you ever do that when someone's like, oh, I have a degree? You're like, wow, that's awesome. I want a degree. Or if someone's like, oh, I have 5 kids, you're like, I don't want 5 kids, but that's awesome. Or, whatever it is. Or like, oh no, I own a house. Like, that's awesome. I don't own a house. I wish I owned a house. Whatever it is, like, think of those things that kind of like sticks with you. So when those customers would come back, I'd be like, that was the person that was smiling. That was the person that tipped me. That was the person that chatted with me. That was the person that asked me how my night was going, instead of me being like, how's your night going? What can I serve you? They're like, how's your night going? I'm like, well, let me tell you. So be thinking of those things. You have to be kind of like thinking of like what got you. Now I wanted to do kind of like a little pattern thing. I'm obsessed with patterns. Okay, so who heard about It Works by like an Adam Little Nickel or something? Nobody, right? Okay. So who heard about It Works by someone just talking to you, not blitzing and not Facebook at all? I'm talking like at church or just you're out at coffee or whatever. Someone's just talking to you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 people. Okay. Who heard about It Works from You Got Blitzed? People need to blitz more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Christina's not paying attention because she's a diamond and she got blitzed. That's how she heard about It Works, is I blitzed her. Okay. So, in the rain, at night, and I looked like crap, and I had Luke in my North Face with his head popping out, because I had to like go outside and meet her. Anyways,
I got a
long story.
booth.
You learned about it at a booth?
At a woman's expo.
Ooh. Who else learned about it at a booth? Or a church or something?
I signed up the second year on that day.
Holy crap, okay. So, I have about 10 minutes that Katie has a surprise for you guys. So, the other thing is, who heard about It Works from social media? Almost the entire room.
Does it count that Katie and I were friends?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like you heard about it from social media. Whether they messaged you or you liked their post just so you had no idea what it was, but you were happy for them or whatever it was, like that was how you heard about it, right?
Yep.
Okay, so raise your hand if you heard about it from social media and keep your hand up. Doesn't matter if they were your neighbor, your best friend. If you first saw it on social media, keep your hand up. Now look around the room. About 95% of the room, okay? There was only about 9 people accumulatively who heard about it from a friend or blitzing. You need to post. I'm gonna get mother on your ass. You need to freaking post. If you don't post, people will not see it. If you don't post 3 to 5 times a day, you're not reaching enough people. If you post once a day or every 3 days, guess what? Probably only your best friends are seeing it. Facebook's activity, I don't understand 100%, I'm not a geek, but Facebook, I do know, the more activity you have of one thing, the further the posts reach, okay? So, yeah, and the longer it stays up on your feed.
Your mutual friends that I so sorry.
No, do it. Talk about it.
So the more you post and the more people like or comment on your thread, the higher it stays in everyone else's thread.
That's because
So,
it bumps up.
Correct, yeah. So the more people that like your
bumps.
status, like when I had that crazy post I did the other day and I was freaking out and messaging people, so it had 16 comments, it had like 25 likes, and it kept going up and up, and at the end of the day, I still had 2 more, and I was like, what the hell? What the heck? I posted this at like 11 o'clock this morning, and it's because it was so high up in my feed. Like, yeah, so that's why. So the more people you know, and the more people that even just like it, it stays up there.
It gets bumped every time.
Yep.
That's what it's called. It's like when you're
So-
in a different kind of feed, when someone talks about, it's like when you go to the skinny wrap shake, and somebody with no one's on that
yes,
page,
but
that's why
only
it's
in
up there,
groups.
because it's bumpy.
In groups, if someone comments, it bumps up. But on a timeline, the more likes and stuff like that, the more it's going to show up. However, the more that Facebook sees you posting, they kind of view it as, and that was just it, that you're popular, right? So then they're going to spread you out to further people. I noticed the coolest thing ever, and I've actually only gotten 4 loyal customers and 1 distributor in 8 months, which to me is like nothing, by the way. So you're like, wow. I'm like, no, 8 months, like, and we're talking everyday posting off my business page. Yes, I have a Facebook business page, and yes, I post on it every day, but I was only posting on it like every day or every like 3 days, okay? Because I wasn't getting much out of it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to be more diligent with both my timeline. Instagram scares the crap out of me. Like, that's what I'm starting to learn this month is Instagram, and get further into that. I'm not going to get into it right now because it's a whole new ball game. But if you're used to it already, absolutely use it because it is amazing. But Facebook, I've gone double diamond off Facebook alone. I've blitzed quite a few people, but only a few of them joined my team. Most of them signed up as loyal customers. So for posting, I started posting 3 times a day. I kind of gave myself a little challenge to see what would happen on my business page. I got those 4 loyal customers I got off my business page, 3 of them were this week. And I've only been posting a lot on my business page this week. And it's cool because if you go on your business page and you go up to the top and you click on activity, it'll tell you your post reach of who you're reaching. And if you scroll down, if you're logged in as like the admin or whatever, and you scroll down your timeline on your business page, it'll show you which posts got the most activity. And it'll actually try to sell you. It'll be like, hey, do you want to spend $5 a month and try to like blast more people with this? And I'm like, no, I don't need that. It's fine. So I'm still like super, super cheap. So I encourage you to post more because the more I upped my posts, the more people I got. I had to bring it back to the beginning. The first thing that I said tonight when I opened this up is you have to make up your mind. You have to commit, you have to get your head right, and then you will succeed. You have to get to the point where, are you leaving? Oh, you have to get to the point where you're just okay with it. Is Madison still here? Where did she go? Did she leave? Oh, sad. Is there any servers in here at all? Oh, okay, cool. So can't you guys relate with me a little bit with the posting thing? That if you're on a shift, you can't take breaks really. Like you're doing your shift. Servers don't really get breaks. Every once in a while you'll get a break. But it's for like 2 minutes. You go in the back room and eat cold fries really quick. Okay, great. So if you run in the back and eat cold fries really quick, make a quick post. And what I did, sorry, not what I do, because I totally do not work at Red Robin anymore, praise God. But what I did is, and I will show you, my memo pad. It's going to be your best friend. Now, when you're talking to distributors, I don't suggest doing a whole lot of this until they've actually joined your team. They're asking the same questions, like 120 free product, how do I do that? How do I set up my pay portal? What's the steps to success? Of course, you can save all of that on your memo pad and copy and paste that. But when you're talking to them like about their why and like their life, and you're trying to get to know them, do not copy and paste anything. Take the 5 minutes to type out a flippin' message and get to know that person, because they are not just a box on your chart. But for if you're sponsoring a lot of people, and I had to do this because I'm sponsoring between 5 and 10 people a month is what I'm averaging right now, sometimes more, is your memo pad. And so what you can do if you're a server is, and this is how I was able to quit Red Robin going Ruby, is I would work double shifts and I had no break. And so, is that where you work? Okay, I don't really know you that well, but I wasn't quite sure. So if you do get 2 seconds to run to the back, or say you just run to the bathroom, whatever, pull out your phone, go to the bathroom, pull out your phone, make a quick post, and then wash your hands. Like, it takes 2 seconds. You can copy and paste it, and I know you probably cannot see this, but this has the emojis and everything. If you make a really good post, or you see one floating around and you're like, hey, can you copy and send that to me? People will send it to you in a private message, and all you have to do is press down on it and copy and paste on your memo pad. And then make a good title, because if you keep using your memo pad, it's gonna get full, and it's gonna be really hard to find stuff. Another cool thing about your memo pad is there's a search button. You can type in there like triple threat. You know what I'm saying? Our triple threat, you guys know what I'm talking about? Okay. I hope you know what I'm talking about. Hair, skin, and nails. You can type in whatever. So when someone's like, can you explain what an LC is? I'm like, sure. And I just go into my memo pad and I type in LC. And I type the title of the memo pad of what I have written out with what I want to look up in the search, okay? This makes it so easy. So when people tell me that they do not have time to post, get creative. You do have time to post. It takes 2 seconds for me to go, LC, copy, paste, boom. Message sent. I followed up. They're happy. Even if you follow up twice, even if you can't keep up the conversation because you're at work or you're driving or whatever, you can be like, hey, I will be home at this time, kind of like I did with my potential earlier. I will talk to you soon. And they're happy because you at least responded a couple times. Trust me. I'm totally always comparing. Remember I was talking about like I'm always trying to get better. I'm always comparing. I'm always going back in my journal. And I absolutely blame my success and my being able to go this far this quickly with how crazy my life is and him and everyone else that is in my house because of always trying to get better. And they talked about that in that book. Do you remember? They talked about let's send Brad out again and try a different approach. If what you tried didn't work, try something else. So that's a good little tip for you too with responding quickly. The posting is because a lot of people are not going to see it if you're posting randomly. Have I had people message me and be like, oh my God, you're blowing up my feed? Yup. Have I had people be like, dude, I'm so glad you're doing so well with works. I just went to my old home church this Sunday and I had 3 people walk up to me. They were like older ladies, like way older ladies. And they walked up to me and they were like my missionette teachers when I was little. And they're like, hey, like you're doing so good. I totally had to unfollow you. I hope you weren't offended. I'm sitting there like, I didn't even know that you did. Like, you don't have to tell me at all. Like, I didn't even notice. And they're like, but it was just blowing up my feed. And like, I so appreciate what you're doing. I'm so glad like I've seen the positive change in your life, but like I can't buy a product or not. How many blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't use to have money either before it works. And then they were like, oh, really? And I was like, yeah. And then they're like, oh, well, you know, I get really stressed out really, really easily, and I get on Facebook to, you know, to stay connected with old friends, and when I see all these rap posts, like, it just kind of stresses me out. Someone actually said that to me. I'm like, yeah, I used to get stressed out too until I learned about Confianza, and Confianza is an anti-stress supplement, and it helps you focus, and it has gotu kola extract in it, and B vitamins, and I feel amazing now. And they were like, really? That chick wants Confianza. I gave her a sample. I'm not making this crap up. This happened at church on Sunday. Okay, so did those people unfriend me? Yep. Did I care? Nope. Did anything change? No, I didn't even notice. I did not even notice until they said something, and then I kind of felt bad that I didn't notice, and they were feeling bad because they unfriended me. It doesn't freaking matter. It's Facebook. Post. Just post, okay? Trust me. Go home. Give yourself a 5 commitment every single day. Post 5 times a day. You're not going to do all before and afters. You're going to do one of you using a product, or at least talking about yourself using the product, even if you're not, whatever. But that's called a lifestyle post. Do one about products, a before and after. Do one about your kids or whatever you're doing that day. Do another one about your kids or whatever you're doing that day. But switch it up. Don't do them back to back. Bye. Thanks for coming. I hope I didn't scare you. So you're not going to do all before and afters. That is going to scare people away. And people on my team that do all before and afters, I reach out to them right away and I'm like, you need to stop. But go home tonight, okay? Think about how you haven't been having a lot of growth or whatever in your business, or maybe you have, but maybe you want more. And start doing 5 times a day. And see how your business changes in 2 months. And then send me a message because I want to know. I started doing that just a month ago, and I've been doing good, but I haven't, I wasn't getting the growth that I wanted because I wanted more and more and more. So I started posting 5 times a day. I used to do it only 3 times a day. And my business has been exploding the last 2 months. So post. The other tip I'm going to give you is following the different leaders. If you didn't write that down, you need to. A couple of them is Ashley Hughes, Christina Watts, Ashley Kelly Olive. So Ashley Kelly Olive. It's all one, not one word, but like one thing. Jade Hooper. The other one is Lauren Bonner. Lauren Bonner is a machine. She signs so many distributors and loyal customers. Like, do what that chick's doing. It's okay to copy people. Did you know that? It's kind of like an unsaid thing, and it works that like you totally don't even have to ask. Like, you can just copy it. Like, they don't care. They don't care. Now, if it's their personal before and after, and they say, this is me on Triple Threat, and it's taken me 3 months to get here, I'm respectful and I message them. But if they're like, this is a fellow distributor, they probably didn't ask either. So if they're posting it, I'm going to post it. And it's kind of like an unsaid thing. Now, don't go stealing like, I went to McDonald's today and blitzed this person, whatever. That was their personal experience. Like, don't go copying that. Like, I mean, be smart. But it's okay. If you don't know what to do with posting, totally copy. I copied for 3 months, y'all. 3 months. I probably did not make one post other than when Luke was brand new, he was on my chest and I took a picture of him and I was like, I'm so grateful to be home. And I got like 3 distributors on that post. So it's okay to copy post, but you need to post. So that's my challenge to you guys tonight, is to go home and start posting 5 times a day. 2 before and afters, 2 lifestyle posts, which is just whatever you're doing that day. I mean, check in at Chick-fil-A and be like, or Filler, whatever, I don't know, I've never been there, but people are always checking in there and like, yeah, I'm here. You know, whatever, because people are following you because they want to follow you. So you want to make sure that they know that you are a real person and that you are awesome. You know, if you're out getting your nails done, take a picture. If you're out with your baby, take a picture, post it. I consider that still work because people are following you. Right. So another thing is to get some gear. And if people talk about how they don't have any money, listen to this. If you buy a t-shirt, it's $20. If you buy a lanyard, it's about $5 after shipping. If you get a car magnet, it's $16. That comes to $41. If by wearing a t-shirt, somebody comes up to you and goes, rap, that's cool, you rap, like you look like a white chick. No, like I rap, like, and I really like doing it, and it's awesome. No, I'm not gonna tell you that. I'm gonna be like, heck yeah, I rap, are you kidding me? Like this is what it does, and bring out your Blitz card. If that gets you a distributor, if a card magnet gets you a distributor, if your lanyard with your Blitz card, I totally don't have a Blitz card on my lanyard, but if you have one, gets you a distributor, by spending the $41 one time on your gear, and that distributor gets you a $100 fast start, that's $59 profit in your pocket. And that not only just paid for your gear, but like you got $59 and you got a distributor who now you're making money off of every single month. And they could be your next diamond that makes you double. Like, do you see what I'm saying? I keep hearing that. Like, I can't afford a t-shirt. Okay, cool. So go sell 1 wrap. Stop making excuses. Just stop. Invest a little bit, just a little bit. Don't be stupid. I was stupid in the beginning and spent like my first 4 checks, and it's just stupid to do that because that'll discourage you. Who cares if you have to work a little bit extra and spend a little bit more if so much more is coming? I used to say in the beginning, and I'm almost done, and I'm going to have Kate come up, but I used to say in the beginning, I didn't care if I didn't make $1. If I had to work for 2 years without making $1, if I got to double diamond and my family could have that every single month, I would be okay with that. But guess what? I made way more than $1 every single month. If it encourages you, I heard a couple people saying like my first check is $10 because commissions posted. My first check was $8. My second one was $63. My third one was $124. It finally went up to $310 on my 4th month, and I was already a Ruby for a month. Do you see where I'm going? You're not the only one. These are averages. And by the way, this average is based off of fast starts. If you're actually doing your steps of success every single month, and so is your team. This is what this average is based off of. So if you go Ruby and you're discouraged because your check is $300, that's okay. The next month, it's going to be way bigger. I got a $1,700 raise on my check this month. Ooh. Yeah. I mean, was it like that in the beginning? No. It'd be like $20 more. But it was $20 more. And I was like, you know what? I saw it. I didn't care that it was a little bit at a time because I knew after time, those numbers were going to compound and it was going to explode. And after a time, I mean, Trish Turnage, if you don't follow her, she's awesome. She's a presidential diamond. She talks about how she was always so busy and her husband had to pick up the slack and her friends had to pick up the slack and her mom had to pick up the slack and her kids had to pick up the slack. She was so busy. She went presidential in 6 months. She has 4 kids. And they're a little bit crazy. I say that because she's told me that, like not be judgmental. And she went presidential in, I believe, 6 months. And she talks about how it's so crazy, and she worked her butt off, and then she had to work another 6 months, and she built it really, really strong, so there was no way possible that she could ever lose it. That's what I'm doing right now with my double. I've been doing for 2 months. It's just pouring into my double, not even really working on my triple yet, because I don't want it to be no way I could possibly lose that double, because my family needs it. I'm not going to be stupid. And so she was behind the scenes, and she was working really hard. And then she was sitting here, okay, and she started going to trainings. And then she was up here, and she was speaking. And then she was sitting down there, and she was watching her team members speak. And then she was in the back, pacing with her team members' babies. And then she's at the beach, because her team's doing it, and she's getting that check every month. And I got goosebumps even now hearing that, because it's just so cool. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, it's worth it. You're worth it. You can do this. I know that there wasn't any magical thing really that I said, except for I want you to dream bigger and really get your why. Invest in this book. If you can't afford a t-shirt, go get this book. It's like $7 to $9 after shipping on Amazon. If you can't afford one, come talk to me and I'll buy you a book. Like, you need this book, okay? Start with why, and it's by Simon Sinek. I will make a post about it later. So, dream bigger, pour in your why, get specific, get mad with your situation, do not give up. Do not give up. That's all I have for you. And post.